The In It Together with Lori Lynn Green talk show is a positive way to start your day. Ready for some encouragement?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm pumped. Let's let the healing begin.
Come be inspired, hear moving stories, even laugh out loud.
Can't make heads or tail of what I'm saying.
Just incomprehensible.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
You'll hear real people doing real things to make a real impact.
You are heroes every day.
Hear honest, compassionate, engaging issues you care about.
You see people come together to do good in our community, and the more we come together, the more good we can do.
Listen in and get started on redesigning your life and hear what's positive in Greater Manchester. Here's your happy host, Lori Lynn Green.
Good morning, friends in Greater Manchester, and welcome to In It Together. We are so glad that you've tuned in. If you'd like to find us on the web, you can go to inittogether.net, listen live, watch your previous shows, even link to our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Oh, my goodness, we could go on. And if you like and follow us, you'll see that we're bringing out the best in people to influence positive change in this community and beyond. Today is Personal Safety Day with Master Trainer of Defensive Strategies, Boilard, and special guest, Kiley from U.S. Law Shield. We'll be back right after this. We're going to be talking about, self-defense with U.S. Okay, legal defense for self-defense. I was going back to read that. We'll be back right after this. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Lori Lynn Green, Advancement Strategist and owner of AlphaAdvancementStrategies.com. I've been very successful at helping people overcome stressful situations to get immediate results in their personal and professional lives. At Alpha Advancement Strategies, we provide a non-judgmental and supportive environment, empowering clients to focus more on reaching their goals. You can find us on the web at AlphaAdvancementStrategies.com or call us at 603-860-9260. Alpha Advancement Strategies is where you invest in yourself.
Hi, I'm Mark Major, certified coach and speaker. Join me Wednesdays at 9 a.m. for It's a Wonderful Life, all about leadership development and living a positive lifestyle. Only on In It Together with Lori Lynn Green.
Hi, I'm Bob Boilard, Chief Instructor of Defensive Strategies and anchor of the Personal Safety segment, where we talk about personal protection, situational awareness, and home defense. Tune in every Thursday at 9 a.m. and refuse to be a victim. Only on In It Together with Lori Lynn Green.
Welcome back to In It Together, kicking off personal safety. Morning, Bob.
Morning, how are you?
It's a Bob job. He pushed a button this morning, and he's a professional.
And don't try this at home.
Don't try this at home. I like the topic that we're talking about today. Some of you know Bob owns Defensive Strategies, which is a personal safety, home defense, kind of refuse to be a victim kind of a business, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Okay, and so part of that, as you're doing the training, you have, I think it's been like the past year, you have implemented in there a law section where people can learn the laws of their self-defense, and you've partnered up with U.S. Law Shield.
Yep.
I've seen them here as I'm walking through every once in a while. Hey, how you doing? And so it's good to have you here, Kiley. Kiley Eliasson?
Eliasson.
Oh, say that again.
Eliasson.
Okay, Kiley Eliasson. So I've been seeing you around for about a year during Bob's classes and stuff. And last week we were talking a little bit about some things, and you came to mind because Bob and I are not lawyers. You're not a lawyer. We're not proclaiming to be a lawyer. Let that be our disclaimer right up front here. But there are reasons as people learn self-defense to protect themselves that Bob has implemented part of this into the class. Do you want to tell us why, Bob, so that we can kind of bring her in to talk about?
Well, our classes basically cover everything that you need to know for self-defense, including protecting your freedom in a court of law. And that's where Kiley's company comes in, and because it can be very expensive. If you look at people like George Zimmerman, who, he spent over $1.2 million in legal fees, and that will, break most families, okay, financially and emotionally. And so it's a very important thing to be prepared for all contingencies that may happen. So,
Right. So, as you implement this in your class, how have you found that those that are in your classes are in awe of not understanding what the laws are and their rights? I mean, it
I
must
think
be difficult.
Quite a few. I think Kiley can attest to this, is that a lot of them don't even think about a lot of these aspects. Okay, they don't think about the financial or the legal aspects. They go out, they buy a gun, they put it on their side, and they think they're protected.
Right. So it's a little bit naive.
Right, exactly.
It's a little naive to go and do that. And this is why Bob and I are strong proponents of training. Even if you grew up with it, and Bob said some of the hardest people he trains are the ones who've been around it most of their life, and they think they know something, and then they go to a class and they realize how much they don't know. So where you come in, Kiley, first off, why don't you tell us how you got started with U.S. Law Shield?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So U.S. Law Shield has been up here in New Hampshire accepting new members for about a year now, a little over a year. I've worked with the company since it opened up this new territory up here in New Hampshire. Before this, I was, an AGM of a hotel, so in a little bit of a different career line now, but
I'd say
it's been
that's quite a switch there, Kiley. So what caused you to switch over?
What caused me to switch over? My husband actually was a member of U.S. Law Shield for a while. He's owned firearms for a while up here, and I saw that the value in this company and what great things that they do, and not only do they provide that 24/7, 365 hotline directed to an attorney, but they also offer a wide variety of educational resources as well, which I personally liked, because I'm always learning new things, and there's always something new to learn, that learning about firearms and the law and self-defense, that was just next to my list that I wanted to learn about. So we have a non-emergency line, which I really like, that call 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. A lot of our members, they call a couple times a week. Some people call once a month.
Okay.
It's great because it's that resource that, instead of looking up something online that could possibly be.
Yeah, looking things up online has
Yeah.
become a real problem. I mean, it's good that we have online, but Bob will tell you, you don't learn how to have self-defense on YouTube, and you certainly don't learn about protecting yourself from the law on online either.
Right.
So
a lot of disinformation online.
Yes.
So why don't you tell us a little bit of the history of U.S. Law Shield?
Sure.
What was their main focus and reason for?
Sure. Yeah. So it actually started back in 2008 down in Houston. So a little over 10 years ago. The company really started between these attorneys that saw, an issue down there of, gun law, gun owner law-abiding citizens are, getting into these jams where they have to use, self-defense, either with their firearm or any legal weapon. We cover fist to firearm. So,
even pepper spray or anything you use to defend yourself. It could be. It doesn't even have to be something that you bought as a protective device or tool. It could be just like the guy came at me, I grabbed the rolling pin, and he was out. I mean, so it's kind of like whatever it is, right?
Yeah. So it's any legal weapon that you have to, use to self-defend yourself or your family or, any third party. And we, the attorneys saw this and they came up with, an affordable, option for gun owners as well as, people who, don't carry it all, or they just carry pepper spray or, whatever level of, legal weapon they choose to carry.
Sure.
We cover 100%.
All right. Well, And Bob, as she comes into your class, how much time do you give her to share about?
I usually give her about 30 seconds. No, I'm not kidding.
Bob's got to be the center of attention all the time.
Usually, 5-10 minutes?
Yeah, it's like
Somewhere in there.
10 minutes just to explain the program and, the key benefits and, the value in it. And
all right, I actually probably should open this up if I could find my thing. I was going to open up the website here so that I could see if I could. I can't even find myself where I put it. So tell me the website. www.
U.S. Law Shield.
Yep.
U.S. Law Shield.
And by the way, rolling pins are very cliche.
Are they?
Yes.
Yeah. Because not everybody
do
uses
people
them.
still have rolling pins?
I do.
Okay,
You
well,
do?
Yeah,
Okay,
make
all right.
cookies.
so I'm going to kind of ask you questions based on this. I
Sure.
opened this up. The first page, obviously, it shows U.S. Law Shield, U.S. Texas Law Shield.
Yes.
Legal defense for self-defense. It says it's the nation's leading legal defense for self-defense program. At any given moment, situations of self-defense and emergencies can happen to anyone, and unfortunately, the justice system may not be on your side.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a really big awakening here, because most people feel like I did nothing wrong.
Right.
But you still got to defend yourself after a situation.
Yes.
And I think that's a real eye-opener for a lot of people. Before you think about it, you better think twice, not just about what you're going to do to defend yourself physically, but what you're going to do to defend yourself to prove that you are defending yourself physically.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to understand the law, what you can do, what you can't do, depending on where you are and the circumstances that you're in. And
Right.
Every situation is very different. Most of these situations are very dynamic. They change on the dime, and you've got to make decisions, split-second decisions, with almost literally no time to think about ramifications or anything like that. So you really have to know this stuff beforehand, before you get into situations like this.
Well, and this is what we talk about all the time as far as personal safety. There are a lot of people out there that they'll take a firearm class or a martial arts class or whatever, and they become confident in the fact that they can defend themselves if an unfortunate event happens where somebody wants to do harm to them or their loved ones. Okay, and that's great, and that's important, and we talk about that all the time. But I think when I met you, Kylie, about a year ago, when you started talking about this, it was an eye-opener for me to say, you know what, there's more to this. Not only do you want to know how to protect yourself from perpetrators and those who want to do harm to you, but you also, after the fact, we're talking about the potential of a civil lawsuit. Or we've had people who have broken into people's homes, and then somebody, shoots them in the leg, and then the person that got shot in the leg comes back and sues them for shooting them in the leg. And people don't realize, well, that's not right. They came into their house. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You still have to go through the justice system.
Kind of
for
mind
this.
blowing in some jurisdictions. You're right. Okay, the perpetrator has more rights than the victim, but New Hampshire a little different.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how all that works. I don't know. We've been having a little bit of trouble with our live stream the last couple of days. I don't know why it keeps dropping out. It's first time. Keeps it being interrupted. I apologize for those who are on Facebook Live who we don't get to interact and talk with them because of that. But the videos seem to come out okay yesterday. But I got to pay attention in case I got to restart this. Anyway, why am I saying all that? Because we really do want feedback. If you are able to hear in your live streaming, we welcome you here. We welcome those who are listening via radio, podcast, on the internet. And if you have comments and questions during the program, feel free to post them on the live stream or give us a call at 603-384-3535. And if you watch afterwards, you can still make comments, and one of us will get back to you with answers if you need them. So continuing on as far as the ramifications, I mean, I think it's an eye-opener for most people to think, why do I have to defend myself when somebody attacked me? I'm minding my own business. I didn't do anything wrong. How could they prosecute me? You know, I mean, what are some? I mean, do you have some cases?
Yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff happens all the time. Where you know, people trying to protect themselves, they think they did everything right, and it's one little thing that they did that just puts them in trouble, like escalating the force. Okay, to protect themselves, they're the ones that escalated the force, which made the situation worse. Okay, just something a little like that. Okay,
right,
can get you into big trouble. You know, obviously it's more grave when there's a life involved.
Sure.
Okay, but you've also got like you say, civil court that you have to worry about. Even though you may have been exonerated in criminal court. Remember O.J.?
Yes.
O.J. was found innocent in criminal court, found guilty in civil court. All right, so you might have two trials to go through. Okay. So, and that's a nice thing is that U.S. Law Shield covers you for both events, whether it's criminal or civil.
And so, what is the difference between criminal and civil? Tell us the difference. Say in this scenario I gave you, someone comes to your house, they come after you.
Well, in criminal court, you have penalties of maybe fines or jail time. Okay, in civil court, it's always about money. It's always about paying out money. Okay, and you're not going to go to jail from a civil court, but
Okay, so criminal's fines and civil is penalty, right?
Yeah. So civil.
So that's
civil
like damages.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are helping people to have to pay damages they shouldn't have to pay.
Yeah, so we cover both civil and criminal, and what's really great about U.S. Law Shield is that there's no cap or limit, so it's not like it's, an insurance company where there's a deductible, and, once you reach that, that limit or that cap, we send you packing. That's not the case at all.
Wow.
We cover you from start to finish, even if, our lead program attorney, Evan Knappen, has to take it all the way to the Supreme Court, if that's what, it takes to, get your freedom back, get your firearms back,
And he has set his life to this kind of work.
Yes.
He's written a couple of books here. I think one of them is, I don't know.
Yeah, so he wrote a New Jersey book, as well as a New Hampshire book. New Jersey is a little thicker than New Hampshire.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, but yeah, so he has, he practices in New Jersey as well as up here, and he actually does most of our gun law seminars that we put on for U.S. Law Shield, and going back to our education, area of U.S. Law Shield, we do these gun law seminars where he'll come out to, either a gun store, training facility, range, American Legion, anything like that, and he'll go over general gun law, everything like that, but then also go into deadly use of force, working with law enforcement, stand your ground, everything like that. So. But yeah,
and so Bob's actually had you in his class as well.
Yes,
and that was pretty amazing. I've been to one of them before, so I'm looking here about the education. You mentioned the gun law seminars.
Yes.
It says that you actually get Evan there. Okay, which is awesome because you can ask questions. I got him to autograph one of his books for me. I think it was pretty new. His book was pretty new, the new one when I...
The new edition, that has constitutional carry in it.
Okay. And then it said there's some books here that... It's Armed and Educated book series.
Yep. So you get what we call a law guide for specifically New Hampshire, and it has a reciprocity map. It has different types of misdemeanors and everything like that. So that's a really good value for.
Explain the reciprocity. I only have people. I have you clarify things for people who may not know what that is.
Sure. It's when, here in New Hampshire, you receive or you can go and apply for your concealed carry permit.
Right.
Now, in New Hampshire, you don't need concealed carry permit, but, I always stress to people, whoever I come in contact with, that I think it's really important for you to get that concealed carry permit, even though you don't have to, but it gives you reciprocity with other states, which is important for traveling.
Okay, so reciprocity means that if we, as a New Hampshire concealed carry state, when you get that permit, or it's not even a permit, it's a license or whatever it is.
It's a license.
It's a license.
Yeah.
When you get that license, now it gives you right in certain other states.
Correct.
And that's what they call the reciprocity, right? Where you can go in and carry there without having to worry about breaking the law for having your firearm or whatever with you. All right. So concealed carry permit, and then the other part here. It talks about as far as the education, that there's critical information. It shares critical information that every gun owner should know.
Yes, yeah. So he'll go over, a wide variety of, topics of, everything like, deadly use of force and everything like that. But then also he can do, he'll do a question and answer after the presentation, which a lot of people that I've, gotten feedback from have found tremendous value in, because they have a gun law attorney specific to New Hampshire right in front of them that, they can ask questions. Can I carry in a school? Can I carry here? How do I get from...
Sounds like Dr. Seuss.
You know,
carry on a hill. You can carry in a school.
I like that.
You can
Evan should use that.
Yeah.
You can use that. No, and it's important because as we were sharing last week, Bob was, a lot of this training, the law aspect of it is more important than people even realize.
Yes. Yeah.
Because Bob was sharing how, even the laws here, where you're not allowed to have a firearm in a certain amount of feet from a school, which means if you drive by, you are breaking the law, which is kind of funny. So we obviously need some changing of that, and we can't do that on our own. But just the awareness alone, I think, is very important.
Well, a typical scenario is, you defend your life, right, with your firearm or whatever tool it may be, and the Attorney General now says, I don't think you did things properly. We're going to bring you to court and let the jury decide. Okay, so now when you seek out a lawyer, all right, the first thing out of their mouth is, I need a $50,000 retainer, because this is how expensive this stuff is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Most people can't get $50.
And that's just the first installment. Okay. Again, how do you come up with $50,000 for those families?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sell your house, mortgage your house, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This will bankrupt most families. All right. So that's, this is why I never leave home without this program.
But we're even talking about bankrupting law-abiding families.
Yes.
And so this is a problem.
It tears them apart. It destroys them financially. It's a mess.
Okay.
So.
Well, we do have to take a short break, but we'll be back right after this, so stay tuned.
Mark Major knows that great coaches need constant training to be effective. As a certified coach, teacher, and speaker with the John Maxwell team, Mark can help you identify and activate your personal and professional goals. If you seek to do more and be more, look up Mark on the web at johnmaxwellgroup.com/MARC-major or call 603-674-6818. Mark Major, growing leaders and adding value.
Little Leapers and Knowledge Keepers Childcare and Preschool offers learning experiences that give kids a healthy sense of self and meaningful connections to the world around them. We teach children from a positive perspective so they learn healthy conflict resolution and develop character. Owner Jennifer Lever has over 28 years experience in child development. She's helped children learn to read as young as 18 months. Join our happy place where we make happy happen, located in Pinardville, bordering Bedford and Manchester. Call today at 603-491-1780.
Hi, I'm Ron Moore, anchor of the Storm Chaser segment, where we'll talk about severe weather in history, science, and today. Join me Fridays at 9 a.m. where you'll learn to be ready for any storm that comes your way. Only on In It Together with Lori Lynn Green.
Hi, I'm Jen Lever, anchor of the Recovery Now segments. Join me Tuesdays at 9 a.m. where I offer support to families struggling with addiction. Hear personal stories, learn the signs of addiction, and get help for your loved ones. Only on In It Together with Lori Lynn Green.
Welcome back to In It Together, where DJ Bob is in the house. We'll be.
Hey, I was a DJ for 25 years.
I know. We're going to continue the party here with Bob and Kylie, talking about U.S. Law Shield and all of the benefits of knowing the law when you're trying to protect yourself in any form of self-defense. Interesting stuff. We were talking about the education aspects of U.S. Law Shield. We talked about the seminars, the law guide for New Hampshire, which gives you New Hampshire's reciprocity map, etc., concealed carry permits, and other critical information that a gun owner should know. But also, some of this program, like you said, it was put together by attorneys. Now, were these they must have been attorneys that were helping certain cases and were finding that it was difficult for people to pay for their defense.
Yeah, they were seeing that it was tremendously just very expensive. That like Bob had said earlier, that it was tearing these families apart and taking out loans and mortgage on their house, and
right.
A lot of people don't. Some people don't think about the ramifications of after, they do the training and they get the correct ammo for, the firearm, and, they practice at the range and, go to the classes, Bob's classes, but they don't think about what happens if they have to use that firearm.
Right.
And that's where we come in, that,
or the pepper spray,
yeah,
it doesn't even matter,
exactly.
whatever it is.
Yeah, because, any legal weapon, you can get sued for, that, it's still going to be very expensive, even if you don't pull the trigger even on that firearm.
So what we're saying is even an innocent person, someone who is a victim of a crime, has to defend themselves in court.
Yes, yeah. So
sometimes.
Yep. Yeah. And this is criminal or civil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because first off, it's the accusation in America, we're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, but these days a lot of times it's you're assumed guilty and you have to prove your innocence, which is completely backwards in the way it should be, unfortunately. Next is you have videos. When somebody joins, do they have certain kind of access to?
Yep. So when they sign up as a member, we have 400,000 of them all over the United States. So we're one of the largest, if not the largest, firearms legal defense program. But they receive a card with a member number on the front of it, and then on the back there's two numbers. The one number is the 24/7 365. An attorney is pretty much there, whenever you need them.
Yeah, and these aren't phone numbers where you're gonna call and you're gonna go on and get a recording and wait for 2 hours.
No operator or anything.
Yeah, this is a direct
on-call attorney.
Okay.
So when you have an event, you need help now.
Yes.
Not tomorrow.
Yeah, they come out to wherever you are, which is great because we have attorneys in all 50 states, and that kind of comes into play with our multi-state coverage, where as long as you are legally allowed to have your firearm or any legal weapon there, and situation occurs that you're going to need an attorney's assistance, then we provide that with extra couple bucks a month.
Right. So you said they come where you are. You said multi-state coverage.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Yeah. So we have attorneys everywhere in all 50 states. So here in New Hampshire, the core coverage is $10 a month. However, to be covered in all 50 states with either your firearm or any legal weapon, it's an extra $2 a month. So,
oh my gosh, that's like nothing.
Yeah. So for my husband and I, who we're from Pennsylvania originally, it's great for us that we'll be covered there, we'll be covered up here. That we don't have. It's a peace of mind that we don't have to worry about. That we don't have to worry about paying that,
Yeah, no, that's
amount of money.
I mean, Bob spends more than that in coffee.
I do.
In a day.
Exactly. It's exactly true.
So, but it's quite a. I mean, I think I got to be honest with you. When I look at this, I think it would be reasonable to ask for maybe like $45 or something, $50 for this kind of an insurance.
Yeah.
I think it would be reasonable. But I can see where they can keep the prices low because there's so many people. Not only that, there's not a lot of cases that are going on, so that can come in and it can stay in their account for when a big case comes. They'll have that.
Right, and that's where I always tell people that I sign up as a new member that I hope you don't have to use this. I hope you don't have to, self-defend yourself with a firearm and to protect your family or yourself. And that's why we have those educational resources to to help you to avoid those situations,
right?
Essentially.
And one thing to say is that this is not insurance. Okay, this is basically it's legal help.
Okay.
It's legal assistance when you need them.
That was my bad.
And the reason that they can do this at such a low cost is because they have 400,000 members.
Right.
Okay, that's the big deal. Buying power and numbers. Okay, so. And like I said, this stuff is expensive when you do it on your own. Okay, I mean, a lot of people think their homeowners insurance is going to cover them. Absolutely not. Okay, you're talking
you would have to
specialists.
Get some kind of rider, wouldn't you?
You would have to, and I don't think most insurance companies will do a rider
not.
like this. And you're hiring specialists here. Okay. Criminal defense lawyers are a dime a dozen, okay? You can find those under every rock. But you need a criminal defense lawyer that also understands gun law and also understands use of force, okay? Those are two highly specialized fields, okay? And, that's where the multi-state come in because a lawyer cannot practice in all 50 states. He takes the bar in New Hampshire or in this state, okay? So that's why you need the coverage in whatever state you go into. So
that makes perfect sense.
Right now I'm covered in 40 states, and so.
And I'm thinking. So now I'm thinking. Okay, let's talk about some of the different scenarios that could happen here. I'm thinking even if you're at home and you keep your firearm at home, and you have it in a safe place.
You know where the number one place of home invasions occur?
Where?
At home.
Okay, here we go. Ready? A little delay here, but all right, that was not funny. So I'm thinking to myself, someone that owns a firearm in their home and they store it properly and all that, but then maybe their teenage kid knows how to get in and has a friend over and wants to show them, trying to be real careful. Usually, but an accident happens. Or a child gets it, or you're not used to having kids at your house, so you don't have to worry about it, and then all of a sudden there is one there. I mean, there's a lot of scenarios, so it's not just somebody attacking you kind of thing. It could be any kind of accident, right? Is that what you're talking about?
So it's any self-defense situation. So
so it wouldn't be a self-defense situation.
So obviously it would be a different situation if.
I don't want to put words into your mouth. No, scratch it all, guys. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's not the first time. It won't be the last. But
a good, not a good situation, but a good example would be, you have a home intruder. You see they have a weapon. Bob, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're kind of in your rights to, self-defend yourself. You don't know. You think that they're coming in to harm you,
right?
And they probably are.
Okay.
So,
Well, some other things that Bob talks about is the disparity of force. Now, this doesn't have to be in your home. This
does
could
apply.
This could be in disparity of force. Why don't you explain a little bit about what that is, Bob?
Well, disparity of force is that the law recognizes, difference in people, okay? Man versus woman is a disparity, okay? Because men are, known to be stronger, okay? So a man breaking into a house with a woman home alone, she's going to be offered a heck of a lot more leeway than a man would, okay? Other disparities is, handicap versus non-handicapped person, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So numbers, two guys against three guys. I mean, one guy against three guys. So those are all disparities of force that the law recognizes. Okay.
Okay.
And again, all stuff you need to understand. Okay, because once the disparity has been removed, you're back to square one. Okay, it doesn't apply anymore. So you have to understand how the law changes. The requirements of the law changes as the situation changes too.
Right.
All right. So
and this is why,
that's why take the law seminars, understand the law when it comes to gun law and
this
stuff
is something
like that.
you teach in your basic courses as well. You give enough information for people to understand that. You always say that using your firearm is a tool of last resort.
That's right.
If you can avoid the situation, you always try to avoid it. And then there are some people out there who aren't trained and don't, they haven't taken a class and they don't learn.
Right.
They go provoke someone, and then they think that they're gonna, they can.
Yeah, that's never going to work.
They can use the disparity of force or something like that.
That's never going to work.
But back to U.S. Law Show, because we only have like a minute here. What would you like to say, Kiley, to people to encourage them to get involved with U.S. Law Shield so that that they wouldn't be in a situation where they, like Bob said, in danger of losing their home or whatever because of the cost?
Sure. Yeah, I've seen or heard of, plenty of cases where people had to take extra loans out, mortgage their house. They're, $1 to $1.5 million in the hole. And that's something that they're never going to get out of. It's
an endless cycle.
With U.S. Law Shield being a company that it is and existing, it's a good and bad thing that I wish that we didn't have. I wish that things weren't that expensive when it comes to self-defending you and your rights and your family and but with U.S. Law Shield being the company that it is and helping people to, assisting them in these situations that are unfortunate, that when they happen, you can trust that we're going to be there 100% to cover, all your legal fees and provide that attorney to you that knows gun law as well as self-defense inside and out.
Yeah.
All right. So do you want to give some contact information where people can go and find out more about this?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So you can go to uslawshield.com. However, if you want to specifically look for an event happening near you in New Hampshire or, we're in about 40 states right now accepting new members, but you go to gunlawseminar.com. And then you just click the drop-down menu and choose New Hampshire. And coincidentally, we actually have an event coming up at Londonderry Fishing Game that actually Defensive Strategies will be sponsoring.
Nice.
So that is on March 27th.
It's already full.
It's already full.
No, so the gun law seminar is full, but there's a gunshot wound certification course, which is, something that we do in our educational, aspect of things, and goes over tourniquet use, supply pressure, gunshot wounds, different types of wounds. So it's a great course.
All right. Well, thank you, Kiley.
Yeah,
and now,
thank
Bob,
you.
you got a couple classes coming up this weekend. You got fast class on Saturday.
Class on Saturday and a ladies only class on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely come on out, ladies. All right. Well, you want to give contact info?
Yep, you can find us at defensivestrategies.org or give me a call directly at 603-566-1727. Have a good week.
All right, we're going to be back after this brief message. Stay tuned, so I'll tell you what's coming up tomorrow.
Morgan Self Storage has been serving Manchester and Salem, New Hampshire for over 15 years. Facilities are heated with security and video surveillance in well-lit hallways, easy access loading, and high-capacity elevators. With many-sized units, portable trailers, and boxes for moving, we can meet your residential or business storage needs. 400 Bedford Street in Manchester or 8 Willow Street in Salem. Visit morganstorage.com or call us at 603-623-2000. Morgan Self Storage, making self-storage secure, safe, and easy.
CrossNet Inc. offers computer and IT services for commercial clients as well as local personal users. We create tailor-made plans for your business's unique needs, from computer repairs to managing networks, servers, and desktops. CrossNet Inc. offers managed services, data backups, virus protection, web filtering, and more. For more information, go to crossnetinc.com or call for your personalized IT services today at 603-589-2520. CrossNet Inc., IT services that keep your business running when you're on the run.
Hi, this is Lori Lynn Green, Advancement Strategist and Coach Trainer at alphaadvancementstrategies.com. Join me Mondays at 9 a.m. where I'll talk about ways to help keep you moving forward in life. Only on In It Together with Lori Lynn Green. Well, that concludes today's Personal Safety. If you want to join me tomorrow for a special edition of Business Beat, we have special guest Michael Silver will be here from the Buying Networks, helping businesses, nonprofits, and ministries save money on all the things they purchase. So have a blessed day, and remember, we are in it together.